for daily fantasy. His numbers too high, then I'm probably fading him. He been on the road, he gon' eat up my salary. I hit up by, he gon' lie before lock. Play back to back, then I probably won't pick on the DFS bachelor, good as it gets. Build a few liners and hit me a leg. He had a good game, but it might be a trick. Log in the Slack so I know who to pick. Sharing our liners, we all gon' get rich. New to this game, you should come to the pad. You might want some cash and get a good laugh. DFS sports, we gon' run up a bag. He heard every game and it's making me mad. You buying your lineups, I think you a cheater. DFS bachelor, he the new leader, yeah.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Bachelor Pad. I, of course, am the DFS Bachelor, and I am so damn happy that we get to talk NBA basketball. The NBA is finally back. This is going to be our Fanduel and Draftkings slate for Thursday, July 30th. Of course, it's 2 games, Lakers, Clippers, Jazz, Pelicans. So 2-game slates, we know this. Now we're going to have to get warmed back up into things. Of course, the NBA is going to be a little bit different, no fans, etc. They're in the bubble. They've been off for a while, so we're going to have to see how things go. But damn it, I'm excited. A big cheers to you all. I have missed all of you NBA fans. Thank you so much for making me a part of your day. It's truly humbling. I truly do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the team. Please hit that subscribe button down below if you're so inclined to do so. Get access to all of our content. MLB for today is out. WNBA for tonight is out. Of course, they will be out tomorrow. When NFL starts, we'll be there. I will also be at sportsbookreview.com this year, handicapping NFL, also doing NFL DFS. So there's going to be a ton of content coming from me. You'll probably get sick of hearing my damn voice. I'm already sick of hearing my own voice, and we're just a week into it. Lots and lots of stuff. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I really appreciate that. That helps me more than you know. And if you like the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment in the comment section. You qualify for our weekly $25 PayPal giveaway. I announce that winner every Monday morning. So, just a couple things to go over. First, there's a few injury news. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at DFS Bachelor. As soon as I find out, you guys will find out. We certainly have some unknowns, especially with the Clippers. A little bit with the Lakers as well. There's some concern with Anthony Davis, although he did practice today. I had that tweeted out. And things are going to be different. We're going to have to see how these things go without any fans. Home court advantage is now not that all that important. Seeding's not all that important unless, in that first round, you're a team like Houston, Utah, trying to avoid going down and facing off against the Lakers or the Clippers. But we're just going to have to see how hard these teams go, title of your sex tape, before the playoffs start. How much it's really going to mean to them. So things could be a little weird. That's just one thing to go over. Also, if you want access to my player pool, all the research we're going to go over, history versus team, usage, projected ownership percentage, price on both sides, fantasy points per game, the history versus team, the pace of all the teams, the health, etc. You can click that link in the video description below. You can try Draft Dashboard, 30 days for $1. My player pool will be updated there. Cheat sheet, projections. You can get my player pool and research for baseball, the NHL, the NFL. At the end of the video, I'll show you how to find my player pool when you use that link and how to use it in the lineup optimizer. You can use the last mass lineup generator. There's going to be injuries and late scratches. We know how this is going to be. It's always that way with the NBA, and especially now with everything going on, it's going to be a little different. Hopefully there's no outbreak. So far, the NBA is doing a great job. No positive coronavirus tests. That was just released today by the NBA, so that's very, very encouraging. But they have the late swap optimizer as well. So let's say you made 50 lineups and you have a guy like Mike Conley in, and then Mike Conley is announced out at the last minute. Instead of panicking, figuring out what you're going to do, you can upload those lineups from Fanduel and Draftkings, import them into Draft Dashboard, re-optimize, and boom, put them back in. So that's very helpful. And you get my player pool, which is also helpful. So, again, big cheers to you all. It's good to be back talking NBA. Let's jump right into it. So, at point guard. You'll see I have it up on the Fanduel screen. I'm going to say the price for both sites. It's just easier to organize on Fanduel. Each player has one position, so I can go through everybody. It's just a little bit easier that way. But these are picks for both sites, and you can optimize for both sites as well. So we got Lonzo Ball at the top. He's 7-9 on Fanduel, 7-4 on DraftKings. Utah right now 18th so far against opposing point guards. It's a paced down game for New Orleans, a paced up game for Utah. Of course, Utah was that's where it all started. Rudy Gobert's dumbass is when all the sports got shut down. I mean, it would have happened eventually, I'm sure, but Rudy Gobert was the catalyst for everything. Lonzo Ball will not be super highly owned. I just don't think, because there's going to be value at point guard with the Clippers, and there's such other higher price studs on the slate. But I'll have a little exposure to Lonzo Ball. You could see in his last 3 games against Utah, 25, a 40, and a 33. I have mild interest in that. I'll have some GPP exposure to that. Next, Mike Conley. You can see right now he's already projected at 53% ownership. It could be even higher. He's 5'7" on Fanduel, 6'2" on Draftkings. New Orleans, third to last against opposing point guards. They allow the third most points in the league to opposing point guards. He was starting to get into a rhythm before all this broke out. You could see he had a 40, a couple 27s, a 31. This is a paced up game against New Orleans. I like Mike Conley quite a bit. Patrick Beverley, we don't know if he's going to play. He's back with the team. He has yet to play. He didn't play in any of the scrimmage games, but he is with the team right now. Doc Rivers is saying it's a maybe. Again, seeding is not all that important to the Clippers. They're just waiting for the playoffs. So there's no real incentive to rush the players back. Now, we do know Doc Rivers has a history of player. If you remember when Blake Griffin was there, he'd come back after being injured 2 weeks and he'd play him 40 minutes. So we'll just have to wait and see. Again, follow me on Twitter. As soon as I know something, you'll know something. If he plays, absolutely. I like Patrick Beverley. They're already going to be without Lou Williams, so he could see an expanded role in the offense. But if he misses, the guy, and he should be popular, especially when Beverly's formally announced out, it's going to be Reggie Jackson. 3-8 on FanDuel, 4-6 on DraftKings. You could see in his last 5 games against the Lakers, 3 of those games were 27 or above. He's going to see more than that 19 minutes that he was playing after being traded over. So, yeah, I like Reggie Jackson. I think he's one of the better value plays on the slate. Landry Shamet, he's back with the team. He's questionable as well. Doc Rivers was uncommitted, non-committal, I should say, on Landry Shamet. We'll just have to see if he plays. If he plays, again, expanded role, could see plenty of minutes without Lou Williams there. And if Beverly misses and Shamet plays, again, there's a lot of scenarios there we just have to keep an eye on. But Landry Shamet, if he plays, could see a limited role as well. 3-5 and 3-2. Again, it's a 2-game slate. So you're going to see a lot of ties at the top. So if you want to be different, you got to play some of these lower-owned guys. Leave some salary on the table. Don't be afraid to leave salary on the table. Try to differentiate yourself from the rest of the lineups on the slate. Alex Caruso, I liked him coming into this. Again, Rajon Rondo is hurt. Avery Bradley is not with the team. He's sitting out this restart. So Alex Caruso could see even more minutes off the bench. The problem is, now he's a little bit banged up. We'll have to see what happens there. So a guy like Quinn Cook could see extra run. Again, we'll know a little bit more tomorrow. But Quinn Cook, Alex Caruso, both those guys could see a little bit of run at the point. Of course, LeBron James is going to do the majority of the ball handling, leading the league in assists, etc. Let's go to shooting guard. One of my favorite studs who I think will be a little bit lower owned, Drew Holiday. 8-3 on FanDuel, 8-6 on DraftKings. Utah 18th against opposing shooting guards. If you look at his last game out against Utah, I put up a 58. If you look at the 5 games before the league shut down, 4 of those games are a 54, a 38, a 47, and a 65. Like Drew Holiday quite a bit. We'll have to see. Zion Williamson looks like he's on track to play, but if he's out, even more of the offensive load goes to Drew Holiday, so I do like that. Next, we got Paul George at 7-4 on FanDuel, 7-2 on DraftKings. Now, the Lakers, very good against opposing shooting guards and small forwards. Of course, they're a very good defensive team. They're third overall against small forwards. Paul George, remember, was just starting to get kind of healthy. He had been banged up. Well, he has looked absolutely fantastic in the 3 exhibition games getting ready for this restart. 50-point upside at 7-4. When you look at his last 5 games against the Lakers, or his last 4 games rather against the Lakers, 3 of them were 50 or above. Only 1 of them was under 50, and that was a 35. Paul George, lock and load. He's projected at 52% ownership for good reason. You're going to want to have plenty of exposure to Paul George. Next, one of my other favorite players on this slate. I like Donovan Mitchell quite a bit. Now, you see the huge drop-off at shooting guard after we get past Mitchell. It's Josh Hart, Clarkson, Danny Green, J.R. Smith, my God, J.J. Redick, Caldwell Pope. So it's a big drop-off, so you're going to see a decent amount of ownership, but it's a paced-up game. Again, you can find that right here. You can see New Orleans plays at a much faster pace than Utah. In his last 5 games against New Orleans, nothing less than a 32. He's got 2 games in the 50s, including a 59. 7-2 and 7K. I like Donovan Mitchell quite a bit. Josh Hart, he's going to see minutes. Bottom line, especially if Zion's out. He's 4-4 on FanDuel, 3-9 on DraftKings. You know, he's got the second to last game they played before the League shut down, he put up a 39. He's also got an 11 and a 10. So he's got a wide range of outcomes there, but I like Josh Hart quite a bit. Jordan Clarkson might be one of my favorite value plays for tomorrow. Remember, no Bojan Bogdanovic for Utah. So Joe Ingles will probably step into the starting role, and you're going to see a lot more Jordan Clarkson off the bench. He'll play that 25 to 30 minutes. His last 5 against New Orleans, nothing less than a 21. He's also got a 45 and a 36 mixed in there. Again, New Orleans, 28th against opposing shooting guards. A paced-up game. Love the upside, love the price. Sign me up for some Jordan Clarkson. Danny Green should see plenty of minutes now with Avery Bradley not there. He's going to start like he always has for this team. He'll play around 30 minutes. Now, we know Danny Green can go out and get you single digits, but he can also get you a 45, which he's done once in the last 3 games against the Clippers. At 4-1 on Fanduel, 3-5 on Draftkings. Sign me up for that. Clippers 13th against opposing shooting guards. J.R. Smith, will have to see what his role is. He's part of the Lakers now. They signed him for this bubble restart. They have him and they have Dion Waiters. So we'll just have to see what their roles are. I'll have very minimal exposure to both of them. J.J. Redick. Remember, he was hurt right before the league stopped. He's 4K on FanDuel, 36 on DraftKings. He's going to be available. He's going to be playing. He may not start. They were bringing him off the bench. Look at his last 4 against Utah. 27, 39, 32, and 20. Some shooting off the bench. If Zion misses, he'll get even more minutes. I think J.J. Redick is a decent play tomorrow. Contavious Caldwell-Pope should see extra minutes now with Avery Bradley not there. Again, this shooting guard scenario, this backcourt scenario for the Lakers is going to be very, very interesting. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens to that. But I expect Caldwell-Pope to play. I think you'll probably see Caldwell-Pope and Danny Green. Then you'll see LeBron, Anthony Davis, and then JaVale McGee, and they'll just have LeBron run the point. And I think that's what you'll probably see tomorrow. Caldwell-Pope should play plenty of minutes, 25 or so minutes. He's got decent upside. You can see his last 5 against the Clippers. He's got a 7, which is scary, which he can do at any given night. But he's also got a 44 and a 24. So for tournaments, you got to like that. 4K DraftKings, 3-7 on FanDuel. Another guy to keep an out for, if both Beverly and Landry Shamet don't play or one of them doesn't play, a guy like Rodney McGruder could see 20 minutes. You see the last game right before the league paused, he played 21 minutes. A guy like Terrence Mann could see some minutes as well, but I think Rodney McGruder would pick up the bulk of those minutes, so I don't mind that play either. Let's go to small forwards. Of course, we've got LeBron. 11-4 on FanDuel, 10-7 on DraftKings. The Clippers are 9th against opposing small forwards. Look at his last 4 games against the Clippers. 50, 42, 56, 54. Look at his last 5 games before the league paused. Remember, they were coming off a victory over the Clippers and against Milwaukee. They were red hot until the league stopped right there. His last 5 games before the break, 68, 57, 64, 54, 57. Leading the league in assists, certainly an MVP candidate right there with Giannis. If Anthony Davis did practice today, but he does have an eye issue, again, I don't think the Lakers are panicking about what happens in these first few games. So we have to keep an eye on Anthony Davis. It looks like he's going to play. Anthony Davis is a great play in tomorrow's slate. He's $1,000 cheaper than LeBron on FanDuel, and I can't remember what it is on DraftKings. LeBron's 10-7. We'll get to him in just a moment. But love LeBron. Of course, everyone's going to have exposure to LeBron. Kawhi Leonard, $900 cheaper. He's 9-5 on FanDuel, 9-2 on DraftKings. Again, the Lakers are 3rd against opposing small forwards. He had that monster game earlier in the year, that first game on Christmas Day. He's got a 48, a 57, and then a 31 that last game right before the league paused. The thing with Kawhi is he doesn't always hit value at this high price. Now, I do like him under 10K. Of course, we're going to have exposure. He's projected at 44% ownership right now. I will have exposure to Kawhi Leonard, of course. Brandon Ingram could be very, very interesting, especially if Zion Williams misses. Look at the last 3 games against Utah. 45, 55, and a 67. 7-3 on FanDuel is way too cheap for Brandon Ingram. He's the most underpriced player in terms of the top price guys on the slate. Maybe Anthony Davis. He's pretty cheap as well. He's 8-3 on DraftKings. So you can see they went a lot harder on his price. There you go. Fill in the blanks. That's what she said, etc. He's going to play a ton of minutes. He's going to take a ton of shots. He's going to have a high usage rate. Love me some Brandon Ingram. Then we got 5-5 Joe Ingles, 5-7 on DraftKings, 5-5 on FanDuel. New Orleans, 27th against opposing small forwards. In his last 4 games, at least 3 of those games were over 30 against New Orleans. Of course, he did have a 14 there. should be back in the starting lineup now with Bogdanovich gone with that injury. He's going to play a ton of minutes. I love the price for Joe Ingles. Only 26% projected ownership right now. Yeah, I'll have plenty of Joe Ingles. You can just do a lot of stuff with your salary in your lineups by playing Joe Ingles. Again, a paced-up game for Utah. Then some value guys. Dion Waiters, just don't know what's going to happen yet. Hopefully he's not eating those gummy bears, right? Kendrick Williams. I like Kendrick Williams a lot if Zion Williams doesn't play. If Zion Williams does play, it's a little bit more murky. 3K on DraftKings, 3.8 on Fanduel. We know he's got the upside. He's got a 25 and a 26. He's also got a 15 and a 5 in his last 4 against Utah. It just really depends on Zion. But I expect him to see the court. I won't be shocked if Kendrick Williams plays 20 minutes. So I like Kendrick Williams. Markieff Morris. It's really only going to be a play if Anthony Davis sits. I think with McGee, Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis, etc., you won't see a ton of him. He's good for, like he was doing right before the break, 14, that 13 to 17 minute range. He should be low owned. All it takes is, we all know what can happen. Anthony Davis headed to the locker room is a very common theme when he plays. He's one of the softer stars in the league. That's what she said, I'm sure. And he's dealing with that eye issue. So he could be a sneaky tournament play. I like his brother Marcus, who we'll get to in a moment, quite a bit more. And that's it for me at small forward. Let's go to power forward. Another thing boosting Kawhi and Paul George is no Lou Williams. Let's not forget about that. So at power forward, Anthony Davis is too cheap. The Clippers are not going to have Montrezl Harrell. Zubats is just back with the team, but he will play. Then they brought in Joakim Noah, and they've got JaMychal Green. They don't have anybody who can stop Anthony Davis, or 23rd against opposing power forwards. Look at his last 5 against the Clippers. 62, 82, 51, 45, 51. Love Anthony Davis. We'll keep an eye out on this eye issue. He is anticipated to take the court. You can see the latest injury information right here over this. It'll be interesting. Both these teams play at a similar pace. I just don't know who they have that can stop Anthony Davis. I think he has a huge game tomorrow. I like him a lot. As of right now, I have Zion Williamson in my player pool. There is a chance he could play. He started practicing, I believe it was yesterday, the day before. How careful they're going to be with him, we'll have to see. They need to win to make the playoffs. He's 7-1 on FanDuel, 7-5 on DraftKings. If he's active, I think he's good for somewhere in the 30s. You don't really see those 60-point outbursts from Zion, so I'd rather pay it for Anthony Davis and then pay the 7-4, 7-2 for Paul George, etc. 7-3 for Brandon Ingram. But Zion Williamson certainly in play if he is indeed active again. That's NBA is late swap on both sites now. That is great freaking news. We can actually fucking late swap our players. So you could put him in, it's the first game. We'll know beforehand if he's going to play or not, so that'll be nice. Zion Williamson, decent play if he's active. Royce O'Neal, he's going to see more minutes. He's already playing 30-plus minutes right before the league stopped. Now, I don't feel real good paying $4,900 for Royce O'Neal. He's more of a $3,900 player for me. He's going to see more minutes, obviously, without Bogdanovich there. $4,900. I'm very light exposure to that. Kyle Kuzma off the bench. Like him a lot more if Anthony Davis doesn't play. 4-7 and 4-5. He's 4-5 on DraftKings, 4-7 on FanDuel. 33 and a 29 the last 2 games against the Clippers this season. I don't hate the Kyle Kuzma play, but I'd rather come down here and pay $4,200 on FanDuel for Marcus Morris. He's going to play a shit ton of minutes. They're going to need his defense, front court presence. They're going to need him against LeBron. Ever since he's been in the league and plays against LeBron, they like to bring Marcus Morris in to kind of harass LeBron. Again, his twin brother is on the other court, on the other team. That'll be interesting to watch. You won't be able to tell them apart. They could literally just switch jerseys at halftime, and you would never know. But I expect him to play a ton of minutes. You could see he's $500 cheaper than Kuzma on FanDuel, but he is $200 more expensive on DraftKings. I think Marcus Morris just sees more minutes. I think he's going to see a ton of minutes, especially with Montrezl Harrell out. I like Marcus Morris quite a bit. A guy like JaMychal Green, we talked about no Montrezl Harrell. Zubats just rejoined the team. They signed Joakim Noah to play, during this. So he's been with the team a limited amount of time. He's 3-6 on FanDuel, 3-5 on DraftKings, a low projected ownership right now. I think he sees 25 plus minutes. I like JaMychal Green quite a bit. Nicola Melli is another guy you might be able to consider for New Orleans. He's going to be, especially if Zion misses, you could see him in the starting lineup. He's 4-1 and 4K. Let's add Nicola Melli in there. We're trying to be a little different, man, playing a tournament. Let's get to center. Oh, it feels good to talk fucking basketball again. Cheers again, guys. Let's have a beer. So, at the top, we have the NBA killer himself. I've seen some jokes. He should be the NBA Defensive Player of the Year because he literally stopped the entire league and gave, coronavirus to his entire team. He's a fucking just, by acting like an idiot now, he has really tried to redeem himself and is doing a lot of good things, so I don't want to pile up on him too much. He's 8-2 on Fanduel, 7-1 on Draftkings. You could see in his last 4 against New Orleans, very good totals. 48, 47, 31, and 48. New Orleans 18th against opposing centers. I don't hate the Rudy Gobert play. Derek Favors, 5-4 on Fanduel, 5-8 on DraftKings. A little bit of a revenge narrative here against his former Utah team. You could see in his last 2 games against Utah, he took advantage of that. A 53 and a 33. He's 5-4 and 5-8. He's projected at half the ownership of Rudy Gobert. I really do like Derek Favors quite a bit. Ivica Zubac, he's got 30-point upside. He's 4-5 on both sides. Now, the Lakers are number 2 in the league against opposing centers. He's had decent success against his former team for his price. 23. He also has a 9, a 22, and an 18. The concern here, and he did play in that third scrimmage yesterday or the day before and looked pretty decent. I believe he played 13 minutes in that game. So Zubac could be in line to start, get about 20 minutes. Don't hate the price for him. I think I would prefer JaVale McGee right below him. I think it's an easy decision. JaVale McGee will play about 20 minutes. He and Dwight Howard are going to split the minutes there at center. You're going to see some Markieff. You're going to see some Anthony Davis at center as well. He's got a 37 and a 21 in 2 of his last 4 against the Clippers, also an 8 and a 16. So he's one of these guys. He can get you 30 or he can get you 8. Clippers are 19th against opposing centers, and I just don't think the Clippers have any way to deal with it. He's 3-6 on DraftKings. I like both Lakers centers, both McGee and Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard's 3-9 on FanDuel, 3-2 on DraftKings. It's been a mixed bag. He had a 17 and a 3 in the 2 games against the Clippers this year. McGee had a 21 and an 8. But for some value, I don't mind either of them. Tony Bradley off the bench for Utah. I mean, he's showing a lot of point per minute potential. You look at the last 5 games before the league paused. 16, 20, 21, 17, 23. He had a 26, a 17, and a 14 against New Orleans. Paced up game. He's 3-8 and 3-7. I don't hate the Tony Bradley play. And then we talked about Joakim Noah. Like, I'm going to have some exposure to Tony Bradley. I'm just telling you that right now. Plus, you just don't know. What are the effects that COVID had on Rudy Gobert? Is he as in good a shape? Can his lungs handle as much? I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor. So we'll have to just wait and find out. But I think Tony Bradley is an interesting value guy who should be relatively low owned. Again, scared money does not make money. We are trying to win a tournament here. If you're playing a tournament, it's a 2-game slate. You got to do something different unless you want to tie with a million other people. So that's up to you. Joakim Noah, 3-8 on FanDuel, 3-1 on DraftKings. 35 his last time out against the Lakers. It's encouraging. Again, Zubac could be very limited. No Montrezl Harrell. So Joakim Noah could find himself playing more minutes than you would expect him to play. We know his defensive ability, get steals, block shots, make a couple baskets. He hits value. I could certainly go with Joakim Noah as well. So that's our early look here. We're a day ahead, but I could not wait any longer to make this video. So that's all our picks. Again, the player pool could change throughout the day, tomorrow, etc. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at DFS Bachelor. Also, don't forget to check out the NBA contest at Overlay DFS. It's a ton of fun. I am so excited for Overlay. I've already got my lineup locked in. I feel really, really good about the picks. And it's one of those things where you don't have to be perfect. And if you go undefeated, you win the jackpot. I think the jackpot's at 18,000 right now. Love Overlay DFS. A ton of fun. Be sure to check that out. Enter promo code DFS Bachelor. Hit them up on Twitter. Ask them about their first deposit bonus. So, if you want access to this tool, my player pool, the research, the projections, which will all be finalized tomorrow before the slate, you click that link in the video description below. You can try Draft Dashboard for 30 days for $1. When you do, you will see you'll have your own watched players. You'll be going through and marking players you want to use for your player pool. So you click that Watch Players tab. Then up here at the top, you'll see a blue box that says Watch DFS Bachelor's Picks, as well as a timestamp in Eastern Time when I last updated it, so you'll know how up-to-date my player pool is. I will have that ready to rock for baseball NFL, NHL, and MLB. It's done every single day. Player pools, cheat sheets, projections. It'll be done every single day for all those teams. Click that link, try it for 30 days for $1. Then we can make a sample lineup here in the lineup optimizer. Now remember, we're 26 hours before game time tomorrow. So this is just kind of like an example. So this is a lineup with Zion here. Let's not do the Zion thing just yet because we don't know if he's going to play. So we can do some upgrades here. Like trying to get to, we got Anthony Davis there. We've got Ingram. We've got Paul George. We can almost get to Drew. Oh, we can get Donovan Mitchell. Leaves 300 on the table. So we got Reggie Jackson, Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Paul George, Brandon Ingram, Joe Ingles, Marcus Morris, Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's a really solid lineup with 300 left on the table. We'll save that there. Remember, you can go and generate lineups for cash games as well. It'll generate cash game lineups for you, like all that. Let's go over to Draftkings and see what they give us. So we've got Donovan Mitchell, Jordan, and it'll show you how many upgrades you can do. Like right now, leaving 800 on the table, I think is a great way to go in tournaments. So we've got Donovan Mitchell, Jordan Clarkson, Brandon Ingram, Marcus Morris, JaVale McGee, LeBron James, Paul George, Danny Green. I think it's a bit expensive on DraftKings for Brandon Ingram. If I could get up to Kawhi Leonard, I probably would. Again, I like Anthony Davis quite a bit, but I think that lineup's pretty good. I don't have any issues there. If you want to get up to Alonzo Ball, I suppose you could do that for lower ownership. But right now, I think that's a good LeBron James lineup. Mixes in some value, etc. Again, click the link, mess with it yourself. Get my watch player pool, etc. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I missed you guys all so much. I'm so happy to be back. A big cheers to you all. May the fantasy gods be with you. Check out our WNBA video. There's still time today to do that if you're watching this on on Wednesday. That Slate kicks off in 4 hours, or MLB's up there as well. Check them out throughout the day. Hit that like button too. I appreciate that. May the fantasy gods, again, be with you all tomorrow. Hope you're all happy, safe, well, you, your families, etc. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you all so much. Welcome back. Goodbye, folks.